our console table. So if we go to your top viewport, and we're going to create a box where the console table will sit. So we'll just create a box roughly about here, like so. And we'll go to our front viewport and adjust it on the Z axis to about 750. Like so. Just pull it out a wee bit. If we apply an edit poly here, I'm just going to adjust these vertices, move them a wee bit closer to the wall, about there, and these one away from the doorway slightly. So we just isolate our shape, and just going to give it a bit more height, about there. If you select your edge tool under edit poly, we'll select down the middle, and we'll go to connect. We'll just create two lines here, two segments, just there, and OK that. This is where the draw will be. So if we bring these edges round here, go to connect and connect one segment, we'll just pull this up slightly, just about there. Okay, that looks good. So if we select this face here, just where the draw is, shift and drag on the Y axis, and clone to object, we'll call this draw. So we'll come back to this in a minute, once we complete the tabletop. So we can now just select these edges here, and just bridge these across. Like so. We'll just delete the bottom faces here. Next, what I'm going to do is, under selection, select edge again, highlight down here, and we'll connect one segment. That looks perfect. So I'm just going to delete the polys on one half of the desk, like so, and adjust my pivot point to the center. That's good. The reason I deleted the one half of the desk is so I can apply a symmetry later on, and it just gives me less work to do because I only need to work on one half. So under edit poly, we'll select edges again, and we'll select all the edges on the lower half, like so, and the top half here as well. That's good. We'll just apply a chamfer here, and about 1mm looks about right. You can see we've got some triangles here, so I'll show you how to remove these. If you go to your vertices, we'll just select this one, turn on your 3D snap, and snap it on the x-axis to this point. We'll do the same with this point, on the z-axis to that point. If you highlight over these, there'll be two there, and we'll just weld these together. You can see it's removed one. OK that. I'll show you again round the other side. Just select this vertex here, snap it up to that one there, snap it back along, select the two of them, and weld. This ensures we're only working with quads. Deselect that. Okay, so we'll just apply our symmetry modifier now. And you can see it's just replicated this half. Perfect. So over your symmetry modifier, we'll apply an edit poly again, and select the top faces of the table. Just going to shift and drag this on the Z axis, clone to object, and we'll call this glass. Deselect your edit poly and select our glass object. Just going to adjust the pivot to the center, and under modifiers apply a shell modifier. We'll just give that a 0 on the inner, and we'll do it with 5mm on the outer, just to ensure the pivot point stays at the bottom. We'll apply an edit poly on top of that, and we'll select all the edges of the object. If you go to your front viewport, we're just going to deselect these central vertical segments, and go to your top viewport, we'll just deselect all the aim in the centre. Just ensuring here that it's only the outside edges that are selected. So just zoom in here. I'm going to chamfer these edges, like so. But at this time I'm going to apply some segments. So we'll do about 10. So if you just deselect your object, you can see slightly face it. So if we select that again, go to your modifiers, we'll just apply a normal smooth modifier and turn on auto smooth. And that's smoothed that up very nicely. So we go to our front viewport now. Just going to move this back down to the table, like so. That'll be our glass top. So next we'll go back to the drawer. We'll put the pivot point to the centre here. And under Edit Poly we'll select all the edges. If you just shift and drag these on the y-axis, something like that will do it. We'll just delete the top face and we'll bridge these two edges across. Like so. On top of your Edit Poly, we want to apply a shell modifier, and instead of outer amount this time, we'll do it on the inner. We'll do about 8mm. On top of the shell, we'll apply an Edit Poly, and we're just going to select all the top edges here, and the bottom. Like so, and the verticals on the outside. And I'm just going to apply a chamfer again, this time probably about 0.5mm. Okay, so we can just pull the draw back in now, like so. And if we open up a material editor, we can just apply some standard VA materials for the time being to differ between the objects. So that's the main geometry on the top of the console table complete. So we'll finish up.